morning, everyone. So good to see you all. How about that band, right? They're talented and hot. You don't always get that. Welcome to the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Tiffany, and I will be your host for the next hour or so. Welcome to anyone who is joining us on Zoom today as well. We're so glad you're here. And if you are new to our center, we welcome you with open arms. And we hope that you will find the love and warmth and connection that we offer here. Oh my gosh, Ari, that would have been so bad. Okay. I want to invite you all to silence your cell phones, because in the uncertain world that we live in today, the only thing that we can count on is that someone's will go off. Happy Memorial Day to you all. You seem like lovely people, so take Monday off. This is also Kinetic Sculpture Race Weekend. Yes. So to the glory. Last night, my husband and I stayed up way too late going to the Rutabaga Ball, where they crowned the Rutabaga Queen of the Kinetic Festival. It is a pageant, but only in the best sense of the word. The categories that the contestants compete in are interview, talent, and reenactment of the water crossing across Humboldt Bay. Each of them had to do that. There were a lot of man-eating crabs involved. It was very passionate. Anyway. The voting panel is past queens, and they expect a lot. So anyway, it was a blast. So we'll start this morning with the acknowledgement of the native lands that we are on. The Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt Bay, and we honor the Wiyot peoples today. All right, and now I'm going to bring up Lori, who is leading us in our song today, Lead with Love. Thanks, Lori.
I'm leading with love. Okay, so let's raise the roof, people.
So this is the point where we turn to each other and welcome each other. And I'd like to invite you all to say, when you turn to somebody, you are marvelous. And you can give that any kind of inflection you want. So if you'll join me, we'll read the first part together. We are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. Marvin's bell means back to your chairs, please. So last Saturday, we gathered and joined in a great celebration for Lorna's 80th birthday, and I see that she is here today. Lorna, I got the full report, and I heard that so many people said so many nice things, and that it was a lovely gathering. Your husband's playlist, off the chain, and that the dancing was great. So did you want to say something?
Thank you so much to the people who were at the project and the people who were at the party in your hearts. It was, hands down, the best birthday party I had.
Yay! I'm so glad. For those of you on Zoom, Lorna just said that it was the best birthday party she's ever had. So anyway, what a blast. So this is our lineup for this week. You can see there's a lot going on once again, something for everybody. For those of you playing at home, Friday is your free space. So that's the day you run amok and then get it back together so you can make it to the men's group. You have until 3 o'clock. So we are continuing with Brave, Vulnerable Conversations. This is a place to share and be heard without judgment. This is a drop-in group. It happens every Thursday. So you are welcome to join, even if you've never been, or you haven't been for a while, or you go every week. So as I mentioned, the men's group is meeting this Saturday afternoon. And our social group, Better Together, is going out on the town for dinner and a play this coming Saturday. The play... 2 Saturdays from now. I am so sorry. This month has seemed quite lengthy. I mean, let's just agree. This was a May that would never end. It just went on and on and on. Yeah. So anyway, getting back to the social event that will be on Saturday, June 7th. Okay, there we go. The play is You're in Town, the musical. The title is a bit off-putting, perhaps. I hope it makes you want to go. Yeah, Jeff wants you to know it's number 1. We're here all week. No one else is here, but we're here all week. No, when I say what makes you want to go, get your head out of the gutter. I mean, go to the play, of course. It received a wonderfully positive review in the North Coast Journal. So if you want to read more about it before the play, I would invite you to look up that article. And there is a sign-up sheet on the side table. Our Twice Nice sale is less than a month away. And so this is where I sing, it's the final countdown, diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo-doo. I don't know, but they're not into it. So anyway, the Twice Nice sale is Friday, June 20th and Saturday, June 21st. This is a great opportunity to get rid of things out of your house that you no longer need. and to find new items, new to you. Furniture, linens, clothing, home goods, jewelry, many fun things at low prices. Each Sunday before the sale, we are collecting items. We are also collecting volunteers. So if you would like to sign up, there is a sheet over here. Angelica.
I thought Brian was going to be here today. Now I remember they went to a tribal thing. But we have a banner over here that we can have up for 30 days before the event. So if somebody wants to put that up out there after the service, that would be great. The pricing is going to take longer this time because it seems like we have so much stuff. So we're actually starting to price June 8th through, or June 9th through the 13th, I believe it is, the week before. And we're going to be doing it from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Doesn't mean that volunteers have to stay that whole time, but if you want to come in the morning, you want to come in the afternoon, whatever, and help out, that would be wonderful. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. Last year, I think we did like almost $10,000. It helps us do things out in our larger community. It helps us do things here in our building. You know, this building, I've been here in August, 11 years, and we've been working on this building the whole time. You know, next we're focusing on making ADA bathrooms, you know, so we don't get fined by whatever. But anyway, we need, this is something that the whole center can participate in one way or another. And we really appreciate your help, so thank you.
Brian will not be here on the 8th, so if you need help to bring the tables up from the basement, we'll put them in my Jeep, and we'll bring all the tables up and bring them in here.
Right, 2 weeks from now, after that play, Brian won't be here that day either, but we need to bring all the tables up to put in that room for sorting and everything, so we could use help for that. What day will that be?
The 8th.
Sunday the 8th after the service.
Okay, so Sunday the 8th after this, whoa, trying to do that right now. So I just wanted to let you guys know the little side conversation over here for those of you on Zoom is that Brian will not be here on the 8th of June, but that's the day we need to bring up the tables from the basement. So if you have the ability to help out that day, that would be great. We have a vehicle to transport them up, but we will need help unloading them and putting them in the social hall. All right. So practitioners are here today if you would like some support. Susan is here, Scott is here, and Reverend Angelica as well. So please seek them out after the service. There's no reason to just have to struggle with an issue on your own. All right, so the conference, the annual conference for all of the Centers for Spiritual Living is in Canada this year. It's filling up fast. So if you are interested in going, you definitely want to check into that soon. Okay, our little pantry is looking quite sparse. So it needs to be fed. So if next time you go to Winco or wherever you do your grocery shopping, you could pick up a few other items. Pop Top cans are a really good one. Oh, and here is our theme for the month, Cultivating Resilience. And at this point, I would like to bring up Scott, who's going to do our meditation for today.
Good morning. I'm in the class with a few other people about this thing called You that was on the screen. And even though I took all of that to become a practitioner, it's just opening up a lot more. As Angelica has said, you learn it at the level at which you are, and I'm at a different level than I was before. So right now we're reading chapter 4, 5, and 6 for our homework. And I was going to read to you the entire chapter 4, 5, and 6 because I thought there was a lot of wisdom in it. Instead, I've condensed it to a couple of paragraphs at the beginning of chapter 4. So you sit back, listen to the words of Ernest Holmes, and then there'll be a moment of meditation. Jackson will play some music. I'll close this out with an affirmative prayer, which we call a treatment, and then Jackson will have some music again. So from Ernest Holmes, it is as though nature said, "All right, little man, the game is yours. Play it as you see fit. I'm going to serve you, but don't fool yourself. I am going to reflect right back to you exactly what you really are. If you don't like what is happening, I'm not going to be disturbed. You are the arbiter of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. I have given you all. I have implanted freedom, individuality, and self-choice within you. Finally, through experience, you will learn the better and wiser way. I am love as well as law, beauty as well as reason, feeling as well as intellect. You are set on the path of self-determination, your fantastic will, seeking good for yourself that you would not willingly give to others, may lead you up many blind alleys. You may meet with disappointment and chagrin, but I have also placed within you a compass and a chart. There is a course you may excuse me. There is a course you may pursue which leads to happiness, to wholeness, to peace of mind and joy. Someday you will follow this path because I have placed a spirit within you which is ever seeking to guide, ever standing aside, permitting you partially to obliterate the spark which is part of myself. Through all the rounds of experience, I am there. Someday, when you sit down by the roadside, weary with struggle, you will listen deeply and you will hear a voice saying, "This is the path, follow it. Even then I shall wait, for you are you, and you cannot return to your Father's house other than as a complete and perfect individualization of myself. Always I shall be waiting. I shall not reproach you when you return. You will be welcome. The time of your return is in your own decision. It may be now or at any time in that vast forever which stretches before you."
I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be and let God love me. When this old world seems to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me.
I am grateful for understanding, and when I remember that I am made of the same stuff as the stars. I am that powerful. I am intertwined and embedded within the one energy that is life. And because I have that energy within me, and because I have that will, I know that I direct and guide my own life. And I put it out in the best possible manner. I know that sometimes life feels like an open road and everything is rolling easy. Other times it's a bumpy ride, and once in a while it feels like a goat trail and all I have is a machete. But I am never off the trail. I am always moving in a forward direction. I know that all things come to the right end. I know that everything is okay, everything is better, everything is even perfect. And I put those words into the law of mind simply to reinforce my own knowledge, because the universe already knows this and just obliges whatever thoughts and feelings I have. And for that, I am very grateful as I see the future before me and know how wonderful it is and know how wonderful it is today. And for that I say thank you, and so it is. So it is.
I'm gonna be free and walk in God's glory. I'm gonna be free and walk in God's glory and live in God's love as I live my life story. I'm gonna be free and walk in God's glory. I need to be still. I wanna be free. I'm gonna let go and let God love me.
Thank you, Jackson. That was beautiful. And now, someone who knows a thing or two about a thing or two is Angelica, our minister.
Good morning, everyone. So we're going to be celebrating, or this is Memorial Day weekend, everybody knows that. And so tomorrow, our nation pauses to honor the lives of men and women who faced fear, hardship, uncertainty, etc., giving up their lives to serve something greater than themselves. So whether or not we agree with the politics of war, we can honor the spirit of those who have served with courage. And their legacy reminds us that true resilience, remember we're cultivating resilience this month, true resilience is not only just surviving hardship, but transforming it into service, love, and remembrance. I went to ChatGPT, my ChatGPT is named Sage, smart person, right? And asked Sage to give me some names of some people in the military who had really gone above and beyond and would, be part of this reason for celebration. And he gave me a whole list. However, one of them that he gave me I've never heard, I mean, I know about this group, but I've never heard them recognized. And so I decided to do that today. So the group that I was given was the Navajo Code Talkers. The Navajo Code Talkers. Now these, I'm going to read you this part. One of the most remarkable stories of enduring spirit comes from a group of young men whose service remained classified for decades, the Navajo Code Talkers of World War II. At a time when the U.S. military needed an unbreakable code to transmit battlefield information, they turned to the Navajo language, an oral language, sacred and rich, known to few outside their tribe. These young Navajo men, many barely out of high school, were trained as Marines. They developed and memorized a complex code based on their native tongue, one that was never broken by enemy forces. In the midst of battle, they endured fire and hardship, sending and receiving vital messages in mere seconds, helping to turn the tide of war in the Pacific. While some Navajo Code Talkers did die in combat, the majority survived the war, though their contributions remained unrecognized for decades due to military secrecy. The exact number who died in service is not well documented publicly, largely because they served as regular Marines, so their losses weren't always categorized separately. However, like all the frontline Marines in the Pacific Theater, the Code Talkers served under extremely dangerous conditions. They were present at major battles in Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, Saipan, Bougainville, and Tarara. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. I've never heard of it either. But they were often under intensive fire. And the interesting thing to me was they carried no weapons at all. No weapons, since their primary role was communication. And because their role was so crucial, they were sometimes targeted by their own side, mistaken for enemy soldiers due to appearance or by enemy snipers trying to silence the messages. Though most of the Navajo Code Talkers returned home, some gave their lives in the chaos of the Pacific War. All served in harm's way, and all carried a sacred duty, their language, their culture, and their spirit into battle. In honoring them, we honor not just their service, but the enduring strength of the Native peoples who have so often been asked to fight for a country that didn't always fight for them. As one Code Talker said, we knew we were doing something important. It was our sacred duty. So when I was thinking about them and our theme of resilience, I realized that resilience doesn't always look like fighting. Sometimes it looks like holding fast to who you are and offering it in the service of something greater. So that made me then look at what the little that I know about Native spirituality. They recognize that, as we do in Science Mind, that within us is something that is timeless, that this divine spirit is never broken, no matter what storms we might face. No matter what we're going through, the divine spirit is still whole and perfect and complete. Resilience is not about hardening ourselves. It's about remembering who we truly are. We're spirit in form, and allowing that spirit to move us forward. So I thought of three things about this idea of endurance, divine endurance. So at the very beginning of our textbook, in the very beginning of our classes, etc., we realize, or hopefully we realize, we're taught that spirit within us is eternal, It's changeless and it's strong. Eternal, changeless, and strong. I think sometimes when we're going through things in our lives and somebody says, well, like me, have you treated about it? We feel like we're not enough or our treatments aren't enough. And that's why we have practitioners, so that you can go to a practitioner and they will know the truth for you. So the other thing I thought of is that when we're cultivating resilience, we're not building something that's new. We're revealing this enduring presence that's already within us. I think that most of us do not think about the fact that in every cell and atom of our body, and every cell and every idea that we might ever have, and any emotion that we might ever have, in everything that we're surrounded by, everything is spirit. And I don't think we remember that enough. I think that as we allow ourselves to spend more time perhaps in meditation of this idea that all there is this divine energy that is willing, actually it's not willing, it's its job, to do whatever it is that we're thinking and we're believing. And if we move ourselves back into remembering that spirit is within us, spirit is within me, spirit is within you, spirit's in the air that we're breathing, everything. If we get back into that idea, then we will feel stronger when upsets happen in our lives. So another thing I thought about was that endurance is a spiritual quality. It's not just human will. You know, we think, oh, I have to endure this. I have to go through this, whatever. But it's a spiritual quality. So to me, that meant that there was a difference between pushing through something and being carried through something. Probably everyone in here has had an experience in their lives that something happened and they felt like they just didn't have it to push through, and yet they made it, and it was like they were carried through. Something within us carried us through that experience. So what I thought of then was resilience isn't about gritting our teeth and, tightening up all our muscles and, trying to force our way through. It's about letting go and leaning on the infinite. Long time ago, somebody said, in this idea that God is absolutely everywhere and in everything, etc. And I think I was standing over there and I told you all, that that means it's in the building, it's in absolutely everything. And I had a weird phone call on the way home, and I got home and I thought, okay, if God is in everything, then God is in this doorway. And I put my hands on the door frame and felt the divine energy in it. And it immediately gave me a sense of calmness. And I thought, wow, you know what? I don't need to be sitting in church or even in meditation to move back into the space where I realize that God is absolutely everywhere and in everything and is here to carry us through. So endurance is a spiritual quality. The other thing I thought of is that when we're feeling like we're in hard times, there's a sacred remembering that we could move into. One, remembering that all there is the divine, and it's working through you as you believe. But the other thing is remembering that we're never alone. We're never alone. We're not what we're going through. We can remember that we're not actually what we're going through. And remembering that this too shall pass when we're going through something, but the spirit within us always remains. There's no way you could get away from God. There's no way you could get away from the one or spirit or whatever we want to call it. Because it is expressing itself as you all the time. And I know that, for instance, myself, when I first got into this teaching, having come from Catholic school, and, you know, in Catholic school, you're basically taught that you're always doing wrong. You know, that you have to work really, really hard to please God because you're always misbehaving. And so they built this thing called confession so that you could go and confess your sins and be clean for a little while, but, you know, you had to go every Friday or Thursday or whatever day it was because, of course, you'd walk out of the confession and go right back into the sin. I hear this murmuring going on, so I know you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of neat that they gave us a vehicle, you know, to get rid of it for a while. But there was something happening there that wasn't happening, and we weren't being told the truth. And, you know, I remember Dr. Leo Fishbeck, the minister of the Center for Spiritual Living, well, it wasn't called that, it was called the Glendale Church of Religious Science down south. He told me that he played golf. He told us at a Wednesday night thing that he played golf with a priest. And they would often get into spiritual conversations. And one day they started discussing the history of the Catholic Church, and they realized that, or what the priest told him was that way in the beginning, the bishops and the hierarchy of the Catholic Church realized they could make money if they sold, what?
Or the little line.
Yeah, little things, I mean, but if they sold freedom from sin. Dispensation, thank you very much, yes. So that's how it started, this whole idea of the idea of confession. They took the privilege of being able to talk directly to God away from us and made it that you had to go through a priest. And I was so happy to find out as I got into religious science that I could let go of that belief, that I could let go of the idea that I was always doing something wrong. I mean, my parents taught me that too, that I was always doing something wrong, and I got punished for it. But when I think about the freedom that this teaching gives us by allowing us to remember that there is that within us that is immediately accessible because it's right here, right now, and that it works according to what we're believing. So if I believe that I'm a sinner, guess what? I get to experience that all the time, even if I'm not doing anything wrong. But if I believe that I'm a unique, individualized expression of the one, that there is within me a divinity, then it helps me have endurance as I'm going down the path of life. It helps me experience remembering. It helps me remember that I'm not alone, that I'm not what I'm going through, or that this too shall pass, but the Spirit always remains. So I thought about then our abilities, our choices to keep Spirit strong and alive within us. And I know I probably say this every Sunday, but gratitude to me is one of the most sacred things that we can do, is be grateful. I mean, yes, I agree that meditation is good, and I agree that affirmations are good, and I agree that spiritual mind treatment is good. But if you live your life in gratitude, the universe constantly gives you things to be grateful for. It's just amazing how that works. And I would much rather live in gratitude than in a place of feeling like I have to get through something. So even the word endurance sounds difficult. I have to endure something. But that spiritual endurance comes from recognizing the truth of us. When you look at each other, you're looking at the face of God. When they're looking at you, they're looking at the face of God. When we're looking in the mirror in the morning, we're looking at the face of God. Way before Louise Hay decided to make mirror work a big thing, I remember, or when she first started doing that, I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to do some mirror work. If you remember Louise Hay, you were to look at yourself in the mirror, deep into your eyes and say, I love you. Well, a lot of people that I talked to were afraid to look deep into their own eyes because they were afraid of what they'd see there. Maybe that bad person was there. But now I realize that that's where the light shines from us. That's the light of the divine. And that we're really good people. We're really good people. And the more that we practice gratitude, the better we are at being a good person. And I know there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now where you think, well, how can I be grateful for that? I don't know. But each one of us can find something. I heard something this morning and it sort of shocked me because it related to something I had heard before, spoken by somebody else, and somebody in Washington. And I thought, oh my God, they're taking us to war. And my body just clenched up so tight. And I thought, thank God I live in Humboldt. Thank God we live where we live. And thank God I know this teaching enough to know that I don't want to buy into that fear. The Course in Miracles teaches us there's just love and fear. We want to live in love. And one of the ways we do it is by loving ourselves, loving the spirit within us. So let's go into prayer. I recognize there is one life. That life is divine life, and that life is the life that is living us. And so I celebrate that life. And I remember that the basic teaching is all there is God, and it's done unto us as we believe. God is that divine life, that energy. So I know for each one of us that as we move through challenging times, as we move through all the times of our lives, we allow ourselves to experience the divine in a way perhaps we haven't before. We experience as love. We experience as spiritual endurance. We experience it as resiliency. We experience it as everything, absolutely everything. And I now declare for myself and for you, if you accept it, that when we begin to feel afraid, we breathe deeply and we speak our word for what we want. Love and compassion and kindness. We allow ourselves to move out of fear into that place of gratitude. Grateful to be alive, grateful to have friends and family, grateful for our spiritual community, grateful for food, grateful for everything, absolutely everything. And what I know is, it only takes a small amount of people to stand in the truth and to have things change. So I choose to be a transformational agent for this universe. And I know something greater is happening here. And I keep knowing that, not only for my own life, but for the life of everybody, for everyone's life, for our country's life, our planet's life. Something greater is happening here. And I declare it to be a good thing, a good thing. And so I release these words into divine law, knowing they are already so, and so it is. Muller is giving us the gift of music today. Yay!
I had a lot of help today.
Good.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna sing.
You have a good voice. You probably sing good.
Wow, was it? Well, I like to give you good value. So you get a story free with every song. Every solo. This song is about inclusion. Interesting story about this song. It was written in 1935 by two Russian Jewish brothers, the Gurwitz brothers. We know them as George and Ira Gershwin. They wrote an opera, very unusual, that took place where it was performed on Broadway. The song has been covered by Janis Joplin, very famously, Frank Sinatra, many symphony orchestras, the Buckinghams. You remember the Buckinghams? Yeah, many people. Now, originally when this opera was put on Broadway, the producers say we've got to have a white cast, even though it's all about African Americans. And they wanted them to wear blackface. The Gershwin said, no way. And hence the first Broadway play with all African American cast. Interesting story. The Gershwins were Russian. They were Jewish. They were first generation Americans, escapees from Russia. And Porgy and Bess, the name of the opera that the song is from, was performed for Stalin as a special diplomatic thing. So this is a very touchy issue. So according to Mr. Greb, my high school music teacher, he said that Stalin, after seeing the play, they were kind of scared, ordered them to do it again immediately. They did. Here is the song. It's called Summertime.
all mellowed out in a really good way. Yeah. So at this point, we're going to do our collecting of gifts. If you'll join me. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond. And so it is. On behalf of the center, I gratefully accept these gifts, knowing that they will help us to grow and expand, not just our spiritual community, but our greater community as well. And we say together, and so it is. Thank you both. So at this time, is there someone who would like to come up and read our statement of inclusion? Burl, come on up.
Good morning. Community Statement of Inclusion. We, the Center of Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remains learners and listeners so we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. Join me. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Thank you so much. And now if you'll join us in gathering into a circle, and we will close out today with this peace song.
Where's our leader of peace song singer?
We can do it all.
Oh, we got this.
All right.
You're gonna do it?
I'll do it. Okay, there we go.
Boy, you're gonna get a blast of rubbing in your
Okay, here we go.